But that being said, Jeff said it before on the show. The Star Wars thing is the greatest shit ever.
Yes,
it really is. Go check out the Horror, Philosophy, and Culture podcast, Scary Thoughts. Mark, Kate, and Chad Locke cover classic and auteur horror films, going deep while keeping the conversation light. You'll laugh, you'll learn, you'll friggin' love it. Definitely one of my favorite podcasts out there. Go check it out, Scary Thoughts.
This week, we got very special guest Scott from the Gaming Outsider. Also, Switch turns 1 last Saturday. Infinity War gets bumped up April 27th. Neil Gaiman announces Sandman Universe. Kevin Smith has a heart attack. PS Plus March. Free games are awesome. Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, and the show.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
No!
What up?
I didn't mean to laugh the way Dirk said that. Let's go.
I was trying not to crack up. I know that sounds terrible. But
I know.
Straight face
So
to
bad.
the Kevin Smith thing.
Just the way you said it, it was just cool.
It's like, hey.
Oh,
Corey.
What's up, y'all?
Corey.
Bring in the week.
All right. This week.
I hope you beat someone.
I did. I beat 3 things.
The L is removed.
Yeah.
He made up for it.
I had to make up for it. I beat 3 games this week. First off, a game I was talking about last week, Cyber Dimension, Neptunia. Beat that.
Score?
It was... I was really thinking about it.
7.
I want to give it a... I think I'm going to give it a 6.
6? Yeah, it seems like how you were talking about it last week. I figured it would pop in around there.
I spent a lot of hours on it, and I really enjoyed the game. I liked it. I'm not saying I didn't like it, but it's not a good game. It's
It's a game not for you.
It's just well, it is a game for me. I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
There's a spot out there for average games or games that are wonky for this reason or that. But if they strike a chord for you for whatever reason, there's no shame in being down with a 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was the combat sucked, the gameplay sucked, the story sucked, but I liked the characters and just the weird anime story, and I just liked the game. It's like I'd sit there, I'd be playing it, and I'd be like, why am I still playing this game? And then like I'd look up and it's like 3 hours later, I'm still fucking playing it. So I really liked it, but not a great game. The other game we didn't talk about. There's an awesome sale in PlayStation this week on the PlayStation Now, the Editor's Choice sale or something they call it.
Yeah.
It'll be over by the time this comes out. But
Yeah, so it would be last
awesome.
week, but they have like every great game that's came out in the past couple of years, basically. But I had most of them, but one of the games on there I hadn't even heard of. I'm even like forgetting the name of it. Icy.
Yeah, I saw you playing that today, I think.
Yeah, I bought it and I beat it today.
The trailer looks good.
It's like a 2.5 hour game. I saw that, and that was another reason I bought it. I'm like, okay, need to make up for last week. Put that sucker on the list.
I wanted to play it after watching the trailer.
What type of game is it? I never heard of it.
Sort of side-scroller-ish.
Side-scroller action platformer game. It's basically all melee combat, combos and shit. You're this you're this like girl in the future and hacking, slashing robots basically. But the whole thing is it's kind of like an artsy game almost, where like the creator of the game narrates it, like talks throughout the whole game and gives you instructions, and he's always telling you to follow the arrows, and of
Okay.
course you're not gonna follow the arrows. And there's like I don't know. It has really good reviews, and like I just really didn't get it. Like by the end of it, I was like, that was weird. And like it wasn't. I mean, the fighting wasn't great. The story, like it was a cool idea, but it didn't really go anywhere, and I just wasn't a big fan. I'll also give that a 6.
Okay.
And then it was the 4th game I beat. Oh, Bayonetta. I just beat Bayonetta before, and that game was great. I gotta admit, I turned it down to easy to get through Bayonetta 1. I'm gonna play Bayonetta 2 on normal. But I tried to learn how to do the combat in Bayonetta like halfway through, and it was too late because I was fighting hard enemies and trying to learn how to do the moves, and it was way too difficult and pissing me off. So just decided to put it on easy, get it over with, so I could play Bayonetta 2.
No shame at all in that, especially if you're catching up.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't mind for an old game to catch up. I was mainly just playing it for the story, anyways. But it was a great game, even on easy. I mean, it's way better than all those other action games like God of War and what Devil May Cry. It's what people compare it to. I mean, the combat's way better, the action's better, and then just the story's it's good story, and it's just so goofy and it's great. Like I really loved it. Bayonetta is really cool, and the other characters that are introduced into it are cool, and it's really great game. I'd give that an 8.
Okay.
So those are and then those are the games I beat. But I also I bought COD in the sale, the new Call of Duty World War II. Played that.
Like it?
Yeah, I really like that. Played online. I mean, it's Call of Duty, but I haven't played Call of Duty in a while, and it was really fun playing with my friends the other night. And
yeah, I hate to say it, but how we've all kind of been let down by Destiny this year. I think this is a year for me to kind of try and put some time into another shooter, so I'll probably be picking it up here.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just afraid of the time killer. My list of games I want to play is so big right now. It's like if I start playing that online, I need those hours for other games.
Right. Yeah, totally. I'm just planning on playing it when friends are on and stuff. But I picked it up and I was getting positive KD my second match. So nice. I mean, it's thing is with Call of Duty, so many fucking people play it that it's not just all pros. It's everyone on there. Yeah. So you're not like getting destroyed every time.
Is there some way to make mashers in it?
Yeah, there's a clan tag or something.
Set it up, dude.
So yeah, I'll do
Set it up
for sure. And then Monster Hunter World, of course, played that. I did the proving the Horizon Zero Dawn event.
Sure.
Unlocked Aloy. Pretty awesome. Yeah, she looks awesome. It looks like Aloy. It's you got to fight a real tough monster a lot of times, and I found the easiest way to do it was just to search for SOS flares and search for like level 98s that shot up to SOS flares, and then just take them down time after time. It took me like 10 times, but I think it only took like an hour and a half. Good. So, but I got Aloy, and unlike Ryu, her armor is actually really beasty. So now I have to be Aloy all the time. I'm not going to be my regular hunter for a while, it seems like. but sweet. And then I got the Wiggler head today too.
I'm one away from that.
How long did that take? Is that like a 10-minute thing, or is it
the Wiggler head? Yeah.
Yeah, not long. I mean, you got to be level 11, and because you got to fight some of the stronger monsters for some of the parts.
Just caught Wigglers.
No, well, you do for the tickets, but then to craft it, you need some stronger monster parts.
Okay.
Stronger monsters, like not core monsters, just little ones that walk around, that like, little wussy monsters, but you still have to have it unlocked. So.
Dirk, have you been too busy this week to get into Monster Hunter? Or
I haven't been playing any games, really.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious. We gotta. I haven't had time either. I need to get back into it.
Yeah. And then the other game, I played the Kirby Star Allies demo. It's out before that comes out, and I don't know. I haven't played a Kirby game in I don't know if ever really.
Is it fun?
But
Just
yes.
playing all the Kirby lately.
Hogging it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It seems like it'd be fun with multiplayer. I mean, it's obviously meant for 4 players. There's even parts of the game where it's split screen and 2 people. Like if it was multiplayer, 2 people would be doing different stuff on the top screen to help the people on the bottom screen and stuff. It looks like it'd be pretty sweet for co-op. But pretty simple platformer game. But I probably won't get it. But if I had people to play, like kids or something, I'd probably get it. But you know,
I'll let you know
buy
when
a
we get our
Switch.
Switch. We'll
Yeah.
definitely get that. My son is the world's biggest Kirby fan for sure, which is weird.
Nice.
Like he's starting to get like to a point in his life where he wants to be older and cooler about everything.
Yeah.
But Kirby's one of those things that just he's hardcore Kirby. He knows the ins and outs.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then other than that, watched Walking Dead.
Which is spoiler topic, end of the show.
Spoiler
Get into
topic. Yeah. Still been watching the ReZero anime. It's great. And,
What are you watching? What's that on?
It's the internet. It's
Okay.
out there.
Alright.
It's on.
Probably it's not on Crunchyroll. I gotta find it.
It probably is. It's really popular. A lot of people really like that show. So, and then I watched the new Darling in the Franxx again, which is great. And then I think I read the new Black Magic and the new Paper Girls, which were both really great as well. Black Magic's getting wild. Dirk is right.
Yes, it is.
You guys need to read that. That's
Dirk,
it. That's my week.
Dirk, if I could only catch up on one, would you say Black Panther or Jessica Jones?
Black Magic.
I mean
Black
Black
Magic?
Magic. Yeah, I meant Black Magic or Jessica
Oh
Jones.
man, that's
Too
a
hard to
really
solve.
tough question. I would say Black Magic just for this issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's issues.
Yeah. This issue's major,
Yeah, for sure.
and you can see stuff about to roll around the corner. It's like the next one's gonna be badass.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Should be out soon.
Yeah.
All right, Dirk.
Sweet. So, yeah, like you said, I really haven't had any time to game that much this week. Just a lot of nerd-related stuff happening outside of content. But we're down to, in everybody's golf, we're down to 4 characters left in the
Nice.
entire encyclopedia. We have several fish left, but we bought some DLC, actually. We bought,
Wow.
yeah, we got a third
Spending
course. Yeah, I know.
That's cool, though. Yeah, it's like you were talking about with your 6s, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's your game.
That's
Oh,
game.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's the one game that we can share and play, and yada, yada.
Do you have a platinum trophy for it yet?
Do I? I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I
You
don't
should
really
go for
monitor
that.
the trophies.
But that
Yeah.
gives you like a whole nother objective once you get those 4 characters. Is like, okay, what do I need to do to get a platinum? And there'll be gameplay things that you'll have
that's
to.
a good-
It adds on to some games if you.
Oh,
use
sweet.
them that way.
No, that's
Yeah.
totally a goal I should shoot for. Because, yeah.
You guys, the hours you put into it, you could definitely
Dude,
get it.
you know what sucks is like, okay, so we're at like in-game content with it. I think at this point, they just keep giving us Imperial Garden over and over again with like
Oh.
Rough +1 or Bunker +1, and it's just like we're tired of playing Imperial Garden. Give us something else. I mean, my God. But I have been playing Celeste when I do pop on, you know,
Still
and
love
it
it.
is fantastic. It's fantastic.
Isn't it? You die
It's
all the
so
fucking
easy to
time.
start- Yes,
But-
you die a million times. I mean,
But it
it's
doesn't
funny
matter.
sometimes how many times you'll die in a session.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like hundreds of times. Just like,
Yeah.
die.
Right. Don't they tell you how many times too you die?
Yeah. At the end.
Yeah. But it's awesome. The soundtrack's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that it's good because you can just pop it on immediately. You know, it just brings you right back there. There's no like getting back in. It is a rhythmic game, but it's so easy to just jump in and play. You know, that's sort of why.
Saves at basically every screen it saves, and then when you start back up, you're on that screen. So.
Yeah. So I have been reading a lot of comics. Just cut to the chase. The 2 or 3 best things I picked up books of magic to try to get back into gaming, Sandman related stuff. That's from '91, I think. And then the 2 best things I read outside of that, the Infinity Countdown Prime, number 1. If anybody wants to get ready for the new Infinity event that's happening in Marvel, which I think is going to be awesome. I know I'm not crazy about their crossover stuff, but the players in this one are sweet. And this comic gives you a full history and breakdown of the Infinity Stones in the Marvel Universe from the very beginning, and like who's possessed them, like how Thanos got them, who has them now. It's awesome. It's a full history.
Can I ask a Marvel question? See if either of you guys know the answer to this. How is Frank Castle Ghost Rider in space?
He's Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's an alternate universe. It's from the Thanos book. And it was a big reveal that it is kind of a spoiler, but it was a big reveal that they dropped in the last issue, and like everybody was freaking out about it. The Cosmic Ghost Rider, I guess it's an alternate universe Frank Castle, but what's weird is that he sort of cracks jokes a lot and stuff. I guess he's Thanos' like sort of right-hand man in that universe.
Okay.
But he's getting his own book. Apparently, Donny Cates, the guy that writes Thanos.
I saw that. I'm like, what is going on here? So they haven't put the story out yet. How that happened? They haven't gotten into it. But
he's alternate universe. He's not Frank.
Right.
Right. But it's still going to be interesting to see like how would he get to that point. You know. But the best thing I probably read on Comixology, I got Abbott 1 and 2 by Solomon Ahmed, the guy that writes Black Bolt and is doing Quicksilver. It's about a female reporter in the 70s in Detroit, and it deals with a lot of occult stuff mixed in with detective work in the 70s in Detroit. So, I don't know, it was sweet. I highly recommend. Actually, that's the book that I went to my comic book shop to try to pick up, and it was sold out at every location. Yeah. So, I just said, screw it, I'm going to get it online and read it, and it was awesome. So.
Well, me and Corey got love for the glove.
Yeah.
Love for the glove.
The dirty mitten.
Yeah.
And then the only TV I've been watching, we're watching Jessica Jones season 1 to get ready for 2.
What do you think?
Vanessa loves it. I think she's watching it actually right now. And then I started watching Punisher again. So picking up on that. I'm on episode 5 right now, and it's great.
That's starting to get great. Yeah.
Yeah, totally awesome. Yeah. Both of those shows. I can't wait for season 2, Jessica Jones. That's my week.
All right.
Whew. Well, like Dirk, I didn't get to do a lot this week. I was hanging out with Nate, palling around there. Then I was out of town for the other part of it. I played some Monster Hunter World the other night, and Nate let me borrow his PlayStation Vita. And I will say
big trade. This is the big trade.
It is a big trade. And it was great having something that had actually really great graphics.
Yeah.
And for Assassin's Creed, they really did well on the controls on that with the camera.
Right.
So I was
in New Orleans.
It is in New Orleans. Yep. Yeah. And I had a lot of fun. Weird. Just wasted an hour and a half. And Dirk, you might actually like it. I mean,
is it faithful?
French? I don't know. I've never been there.
It's like when it was just the French Quarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even the French Quarter is not faithful.
It was before the Louisiana Purchase. And No, it was really good. I did read a lot of comics on the plane, on the flight there. I read Saga Volume 1. I don't recommend reading it on an airplane surrounded by people. I read some Jessica Jones Uncaged.
We talked about that last week.
I did.
Yeah.
And I just caught myself. I was just sort of rolling with it.
It's all right. We can talk about Saga whenever anybody wants to talk about Saga.
For sure. This week I got this.
Dun, dun,
Oh.
dun.
Monster Manual.
Yeah.
And I got this. I got
Nice.
the Dungeon Master with Sazerac. What's up?
Yeah.
And then I picked up Saga Volume 2 and 3, so I'm going to read those.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to love them.
And tonight I was playing some Neverwinter. And I always forget how great that game is.
Yeah.
Every time, right?
Yeah.
Every time you pick it up, and you're like, why am I not playing this more?
Well, it's because Monster Hunter World sucked me in.
And maybe the best stream group ever.
Yeah.
That was an awesome little combo we had going on. Yeah. Thanks to
Started
everybody
up
for
when I
stopping
jumped
by.
in there.
Yeah, Jeffrey Hero, Mob 2 Gaming.
Mob 2, what's up?
Yeah.
Shout out.
Who was it? Master Effect. Lauren from Omni Squad showed up.
Yeah.
Jeff Tone. And who else is on it? Man, there's a lot of people on there, and I can't remember all their names. It was great chat. Great chat was going on. Dirk jumped on. I think the whole crew was on at one point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it went over really well.
Hit that guild up if anybody's interested.
Yeah, for sure. Midnight Masters.
Midnight Mashes.
Other than that, I think, I didn't do a whole lot this week. I was traveling. And,
All right.
And I trade off to Nate.
Okay.
Pass
all
the
right.
baton.
So the other half of 2018's big trade was the PlayStation VR coming over to my house. And
Nice.
I have not, again, super busy. We all are. So I'm going to take it week by week here, talking about PSVR. Now, it's been very well documented that I've talked a lot of shit about PlayStation VR. And so I had this opportunity to check it out without buying it, right, by trading the Vita for a little while. And I'm trying to have as open mind as possible. I still have to say that if I sat here today, if I had to ship it back to Jeff tomorrow, I probably wouldn't buy another one. It's just too much money. Like I just feel like by the time I got what I needed in a couple games, we're talking like $350 or something like that, and that's too much. But that being said, Jeff said it before on the show. The Star Wars thing is the greatest shit ever. It really is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you're flying around an X-wing. It looks
Yeah.
really good. The graphics
That's
look really
awesome.
great, and you're flying through an asteroid field and tracking dudes down and stuff. It's the story part of it is pretty mediocre, but you don't care when you're flying
No.
around an X-wing. Like it's really cool.
Wait, I have a question. How free is it? Like, how much? Okay, so in the game, like, how much space do you have to move through?
It's you're kind of on rails. You are on rails. It's not free roam because there is
Right.
a specific storyline you have to follow, but it is the quintessential Star Wars experience. It really is.
But when you say on rails, it is still wide open. It's just if
Yeah.
you went off the map, it'll say like turn back
Yep.
before
Yeah,
it'll reset on
okay.
you. It's not like you're on a track. You could do a
You can
360
explore.
and-
Yeah, you can explore.
Okay.
Like when you first
Cool.
start out, you can explore and fly around. And
Yeah, and just the first thing when you boot that game up is they take you to the title screen, and it's an AT-AT walking over you. It's so fucking awesome.
and you look up.
you just,
You look up and you just get that depth of field.
I want to be Ursa.
Yep. So anyways, yeah, that's really great. I bought the Batman one, and
How's that?
it's also really great. It's kind of dumb that Batman never moves his feet ever, but it's undeniably cool when you grab the key from Alfred and unlock the piano and then play a couple keys, and then the elevator starts dropping down. You take his
That is
gloves and his
awesome.
hat and you put it all on, and they show you a mirror and stuff. Like it's really well done. And so those, and then also I talked about it on Facebook a little bit, but cat lateral damage. is incredible. So cat lateral
That's totally
damage.
me.
It's Dirk. It's a
I would
must
die.
buy for Dirk.
I would die.
You basically have a big room, and you teleport. You don't really walk free. You'll point at a thing, and then it puts you over there. So you'll see like a shelf full of books. You teleport over there, and then you're standing on the shelf, and then you take the move controllers and you knock the books off the shelf, just one after another. And then you go to the next spot where there's like something set, a glass of water on the table. You knock the water
Just
off.
tap
the
it
table.
off.
Yeah, that's what the whole game is knocking shit off and shit. So, but it's more free than Batman. Like in Batman, you move the same kind of way. You pick a spot and then it just zooms you over there. It's how they keep you from getting motion sickness, and it works. You don't get motion sick in them.
Okay.
But Batman, like you look at a scene and there's like 4 spots that you can go to. Cat lateral damage, you can go anywhere. You point it's way more advanced. You can go all around the room and just click a spot and knock some shit off over there. It's pretty
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yep,
So speaking of sickness, so how sick did you get when you played the X-Wing mission?
So the X-Wing was the only one that I played so far that could
Okay.
make me sick. I still haven't played Gran Turismo, so you said that was the worst, it seems like.
It was, yeah.
And then I have Rise of the Tomb Raider, I guess, also has a VR mode in it.
Laura Croft mentioned, yeah.
Yeah, right. So I'll report on those next week. But I gotta say, the Star Wars thing did give me a little bit of motion sickness. Not at all enough for me to want to stop playing.
Yeah.
But I definitely felt it a little bit. And some people, like my parents were over this week, and my dad said he didn't feel it at all.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And my kids say that too. So I guess I'm just middle of the road on how that shit affects me. So those were the games I played this week. You know, Monster Hunter. We don't need to talk about Monster Hunter anymore. It's awesome. So watched the movie the other night.
Okay.
Hey, you guys watch Moonrise Kingdom?
No.
No.
Wait.
I've heard about it.
Moonrise Kingdom. That's Wes Anderson?
Yeah, it's Wes Anderson. It's Bill Murray, Edward Norton.
It's not the Boy Scout movie.
It is the Boy Scout movie.
Yeah, I saw that.
You did?
Yes, in the theaters, I think.
It was awesome.
It
Man,
was. I mean,
I
think
loved
if you
it.
like Wes Anderson movies,
Yeah.
you'll like almost anything he puts out.
Sure,
But you have to be but yes, it was awesome.
I mean, when you guys make fun of me because I won't give a comic book movie over an 8, I mean, this is why. Moonrise Kingdom is art, and the combination of like the writers and directors' visions with the talented actors and just the cool story. I mean, it came together in a way that was just friggin' awesome. Excellent.
It's always
It's a love story.
It's a Boy Scout I haven't seen it in ages. He goes on a little excursion, I think.
He quits the Boy Scouts and takes off on his own to meet the girl that he is pen pals with, and then they're just trying to escape society together.
Yeah.
And both of them come from like broken homes. They're like adopted and their foster parents hate them, and they find love in the wilderness with all this crazy stuff going on.
Corey's making a face. No, so the thing with Wes Anderson, though,
it's awesome,
is
Corey.
the visuals. It's always visuals with Wes Anderson. It's like he takes a frame of a photograph and recreates it in every single scene that tells that story. But also, he picks really great songs to back up those pictures, those scenes.
Yeah, and like I said, Edward Norton, Bill Murray, it's a lady from Fargo. What's her name?
I can't remember. Which one? The one that plays the cop in Fargo? I can't remember. She's been in a lot, though. She's in that 3 Billboards in
Bruce
Missouri.
Willis.
Yep.
Yeah. She was all over the Oscars tonight. Yeah. Just excellent jobs by everybody. And I 9 out of 10.
Okay.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
You
You saw the preview for Isle of Dogs?
What's that?
You saw the trailer for Isle of Dogs?
No.
That's his new stop-motion animated film coming out, and it looks incredible.
All right. Cool.
It's like that Moonrise Kingdom 7.8 IMDb. Mediocre.
Well, tell me what you give it.
Should I watch that or Mad Max? I was thinking about watching
Mad
Max.
Max.
Mad Max Fury Road?
No question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's a 10 out of 10.
Wait,
That
Fury
is-
Road or the first one?
Fury Road.
Oh. I think it's the best action movie ever made, to be honest.
That's really good.
That's my
I've
opinion
never
on it.
seen it.
Yep. Yep.
It's fucking
All right.
incredible.
That's my week.
Wow. All right. It is our pleasure and an extreme honor to have with us Scott from Gaming Outsider podcast, and he is a member of the award-winning podcast for Hollywood Outsider. So welcome,
Nice.
Scott. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. I really appreciate that. I'm honored to be here myself, actually. I've chatted with Nate. He's actually been a guest on my show, The Gaming Outsider, and I'm really excited to talk with you guys about a bunch of nerdy stuff for a little while. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, it's great having you on the show. Take a moment or two, kind of explain to everybody basically everything you do. And I know also Hollywood Outsider, Gaming Outsider, wherever you want to go with it sort of thing, and then where everybody can find you as well.
Sure. So you want me to start from the very beginning?
Yeah,
Is that what you want?
whatever's important.
I was born a poor black child. No. No. Actually, my podcasting endeavor started about 8 or 9 years ago. I started a little podcast called the Official Thread Podcast. It was a video game podcast, and it failed.
Okay.
Straight up failed. And since then, I joined up with my buddy Aaron to do the Hollywood Outsider, which we've now been doing for 7 years. It is a film and television podcast. We do it once a week, and we're kind of irreverent, and we're not snobby. It's kind of what our shtick. We like the popcorn movies. We like Marvel movies. You know what I mean? We're not gonna,
Sure.
And we kind of focus on what we like. And we try not to condescend on stuff that we don't like. It's just a very good community as well. We've just really got a lot of things going on over there. And in the past 3 years, I started another podcast called The Gaming Outsider because I'm more passionate about games than I am about film. I love film, but I adore the video games. I have ever since I was old enough to play my Atari 2600 when I was 4 years old.
Nice.
So we've been doing that for about 3 years, and hopefully going to be plugging along. We've had a little bit of a rough week in terms of some clientele and some things that have happened, but we're still plugging forward. I'm trying to assemble a new team, and there's going to be some news coming out here in the next week or so about the future of that. So if you like movies and TV, check out The Hollywood Outsider. We're found at thehollywoodoutsiders.com or at BuyPopcorn on Twitter. And The Gaming Outsider, we are at The GoCast, and our website is thegamingoutsider.com. So you can listen to both of those podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Spotify. We're all over the place.
Awesome.
Awesome. Wow.
So, I had a question. How do you guys decide, I guess, which game you're going to play together, or what game you're going to feature for the week?
Well, we just kind of play it by ear. We actually, believe it or not, don't play a lot of games together. We've been trying over the years to play some online multiplayer games, but everybody just kind of does their own thing. And what we do is I make a Google Doc every week before our podcast, and around Sunday. And I have spots in there for people to put what games they've been playing. And then when we get to there, we just kind of go through what they've been playing. That's what we feature for the What You've Been Playing segment. With our reboot of the podcast coming, we're hopefully going to be doing that a little bit different. And at the beginning of the show, we're going to talk about only brand new games, like whatever things that we haven't talked about last week. And then at the very end of the show, we can briefly mention something because, you don't want to hear us talking about the same games every week. It just gets a little bit old.
Sure.
Right.
So
Yeah, sure.
try to play whatever's newest, latest, and best, though.
Well, that seems to draw the most views.
Exactly.
For sure. My question's out of the water because you already answered in your intro. But I was looking at your webpage, and that is an amazing webpage.
Oh, thank you.
I was really impressed when I was checking it out. How many people actually work for the Gaming Outsider? Because just that list of the crew was, 6, 7 people it looked like.
Well, right now it's one. It's
one?
me. Like I said, it was kind of a rough week, and I'll stay tuned to thegamingoutsider.com for that. But it was really just 4 core people, and we had a lot of contributing writers because we're very community driven, and we realized that we can't play all the games, so we try to take a different approach. And I'm very big on trying to reach out to developers and make relationships with them and try to get review copies of games because number one, games are expensive, and number two, I like to get games ahead of time so I can play them, review them, and get a review out at release date. And I've had some success doing that, of getting things, and but I can't play them all. So what we do is we wind up harvesting freelance writers from the community and say, hey, we'll give you a review copy of this game that we've got for the Gaming Outsider as long as you write a review for us and come talk about it on the show. So we listed out all of our like regular contributing writers. It was only 2 or 3, okay. and it was kind of a fun experience. So and we're kind of playing off of that a little bit with the future as well too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, excellent. So, Scott, you've been at this game longer than we have. Corey and I started like a year and a half ago. Just YouTube was our vessel because it was the easiest thing for us to make happen with the equipment that we had at the moment, right? Mm-hmm. And then we've slowly grown. You know, Jeff and Dirk joined us on the adventure. We got into other things. Have got a podcast up and running about halfway through our kind of history or whatnot. What kind of advice with you? You said 7 years now you've been doing it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, 7 years successfully. There was a couple years before that, but
sure. Well, and even with the unsuccessfully. So, you know, we're really blown away by the amount of support that we've gotten so far, mm-hmm. and how quick we're growing at this point. But you know, with your experience, you know, you have any advice for us on what we could do, like just in general, not necessarily to draw more people, but just how to have a better product?
Well, I mean, the big thing that I tell everybody about podcasting is consistency in terms of like who you've got on the show. Listeners really like hearing the same voices every week. They get to know you and liken themselves to you, and so they listen to you for what things you like, and then they assume they're going to like them because you do, or the opposite. Even if they disagree with you, they know that if they disagree with you and you like a certain property, they're not going to like it. You know what I mean? So the consistency is a big thing, and just make sure you deliver what you promise, and delegate. This is what I'm finding with this is I'm a bit of a control freak in it, and I needed to. What I'm trying to do now is to spread out some of the responsibilities amongst different people, and just make it a team effort instead of a one-man effort. So
nice. I got to say that consistency point and what you brought up there about people associating things with you and whatnot. You're of all the podcasts that I listen to all week long, you're the guy that I know likes pinball video games as much as I do.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh man, I love Pinball FX so much. I've literally played Pinball FX more than any other game. Even Fallout 3, I think, is probably the second most. But
do you play on Xbox?
I do.
Okay, I'm on PlayStation because I was gonna try and get leaderboards or whatever synced up with you.
Well, I've got it on the Switch as well because I actually, like I said, developing relationships. I've had people from Zen Studios on my show.
Oh, cool.
And they hooked me up with a Switch copy of a few of the tables.
Nice.
And the Switch version is really cool because you can actually turn the Switch sideways and play it vertically, so that you can do that.
Oh, wow.
And there's going to be a video posted on my Facebook group here in the next couple of days. Grant Henry is the guy that writes the theme music for our song. He's the guy behind Metroid Metal and a band called Stemmage.
Okay.
And he sent me a video last night that he wanted to share with me where he took a huge monitor. I'm talking like a, 25-inch monitor, like a long one. And he's rigged this thing up with Pinball FX where he's got a dock set up for it to go vertically into this TV. So imagine a normal TV turned this way, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
But then he bought all the pinball buttons, like the flipper buttons.
Nice.
And he's got everything all mapped up inside this like box. So you actually like sit there and hold the physical box like this. You can't see my hands.
Sure.
But does this, and he's even got nudge buttons installed.
Great.
You know, in Pinball FX, you can hit the side of the table or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I really want him to build one for me because it just looks so cool.
So, and one more, I wanted to keep it short, and then I'm stretching it out myself. But are you as much of a fan of actual pinball, or is it just the games got you into it?
Well, I was a pinball fan when I was a kid.
Okay.
There was a table when I grew up in Whitewater, Wisconsin, and
I'm sorry.
I lived I lived near a resort that had an arcade in it, and they had a pinball table in there called the Getaway.
Okay.
It's actually on Pinball Arcade, I believe.
Yeah, it's in my buddy's garage 3 blocks away from here.
Oh, that is that game gave me my love for pinball. So I started loving pinball at an early age with machines like that. As I got older, you can't own a pinball table. They're just, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into it hardcore until my buddy Mike introduced me to Pinball FX2, and I was just addicted at that point. Those leaderboards are like crack cocaine.
Yeah.
And when you get on and you see one of your medals gone because one of your buddies took it over, you just got to sit there and play it for hours and hours. And
Nice.
I get so much crap for liking pinball on my show. It's so nice to be able to talk about it really here.
Invite me on whenever you want to talk some pinball. I'm ready.
All right, we'll just annoy the crap out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Yeah, my question. I guess you kind of answered it. It sounded like Xbox, but I'm assuming you have most of the systems. I saw you did Doki Doki and you do Nintendo stuff. So you do PC, Xbox, and Switch. Is Xbox your preferred system to play on, or?
Xbox is my preferred system, but for a really crappy reason. You're gonna laugh at me, but I am so addicted to achievement points. It's ridiculous.
I'm the same way with trophies on PS4.
Oh man, what started out with me and a buddy doing a competition back in the Xbox 360 days. We just said, hey, let's see who can get the most achievement points, and that's what started it. And it got so bad that we were hiding our profiles from each other so the other person couldn't see what game they were playing to try to go get like the easy achievement points, like from Avatar and all those games that were like super simple to get. I literally have bookmarked in my phone a page that gives you like a listing, a ranking of the easiest ones to get it. It was so bad.
Wow.
Did you play?
Yeah, they're addicting.
I did play Hannah Montana. Thanks for bringing that up. We actually did that game for our Patreons. We do a segment called Games That Aren't For Us.
Right.
Because if you listen to our show, you know our tagline is "There's no such thing as a bad game, just games that aren't for you."
Yeah.
So we have, instead of saying bad game night, we call it games that aren't for us. And we actually did Hannah Montana for games that aren't for us one night, and that was a really interesting experience. So
That's awesome.
I do.
Yeah.
I like that tagline. Yeah,
Right.
because that is perfect. That is the best way to say it. So
I'm glad you like it, because a lot of people take it literally. I mean, look, I understand. Superman 64 is a real game, so, but
funny.
one game that is terrible for somebody is going to be somebody else's favorite game.
Yeah.
So, and there's also joy to be had in a crappy game. That's why we can do segments like Games That Aren't For Us, because as terrible as they may be, it's still fun to talk about them and experience them. So
Yeah, I gotta say,
Friday
also,
13th.
Scott, like listening to the Gaming Outsider for quite a while now. I think probably half a year or whatnot. I've been listening to you guys, and you do such a great job of staying positive about everything. That tagline says it all. It seems like if you're looking around the internet for podcasts to listen to, most of them are going to be a younger group of people who tend to be pretty snarky about things in general. Yeah, I find that from, as I'm searching all over the place, and you guys are nothing but positivity, and it really keeps me coming back anyway.
Well, I appreciate it, man. That's really kind of the goal that we had in the entire thing. Was I got tired of listening to podcasts and just hearing everybody crap on games. I'm not going to name specific podcasts that I don't like, because some people love them. But if I hear someone say, "Oh, this game is broken," this game is just broken, that is not telling me anything. Tell me why it's, I just despise that. And it's so easy to be so negative because bad news sells, right? I mean, look at CNN, looks at Fox News. You notice I said both of them, not one or the other.
Right.
Everything that's bad is what sells. And it's easy to just say horrible things and just be hyperbolic about how bad something is, because people want to just hear how crazy and amped up you get. Now, listen, I'm not going to say that we're not going to say negative things about games. We're going to be honest. There's a difference between crapping in a game, and I'm sorry, I don't know what your swearing policy is here.
We're wide open.
Wide open, okay.
Yep.
There's a difference. There's a difference between shitting on a game and giving it a critical eye. You know what I mean? I can talk negatively about it without being condescending, and I don't want to make a developer feel bad about what they made. They put a lot of time and effort into it. I can point out some of the flaws, but do it in a constructive way instead of just being completely negative. And that's kind of what the whole show is predicated on.
Definitely.
But what about E.T. for Atari?
I actually liked E.T. for Atari when I was a kid, so I
Friday the 13th.
I fell down that hole so
Dude,
many
I
times.
liked Friday the 13th. It was hard as fuck, but I liked Friday the 13th.
It was hard. It was hard. I actually have a cartridge from. You guys remember that movie where they did the documentary?
The dig out,
Yeah.
I actually have a cartridge from Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
My
Awesome.
buddy bought it for me for my birthday one year. It's not E.T. It's Missile Command. But I got like a certificate of authenticity and the little thing from the city of Alamogordo and stuff. So that's in my
great.
collection.
Awesome.
So
That's great.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks, Scott, for joining us. It's been a fun time having you on this week. Really appreciate you dropping by. Everybody watching our show or listening to the audio version, go over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GCandC. Go to the description of this video. We'll have the links to all of Scott's stuff in there. You want
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, one more time, GamingOutsider.com and HollywoodOutsider.com. Is that right?
Actually, there's a "the" in front of both of them, so it's The Gaming Outsider
Okay.
and The Hollywood Outsider. Again, the podcasts are all available on iTunes, Stitcher, and recently Spotify. Got both of them on Spotify, which is a cool
Nice.
feeling.
That is.
And Twitter @TheGoCast and @BuyPopcorn. And I really hope you guys check it out and join our Facebook group. That's where like the meat and potatoes of our conversations go.
I'm in there.
And we've got a really awesome community of people that are just very respectful, and we keep it very clean, not in terms of language, but in terms of just people being nasty.
Yeah,
Just
I
re-
agree. I agree. It's a super good group, definitely.
Yeah. So Facebook.com/groups/The Gaming Outsider, and same for The Hollywood Outsider. Really would appreciate it. We've got a Patreon. If you're interested in both, we actually offer additional content for both shows. We actually give away a game every month on the Gaming Outsider with our Patreon. So we just gave away a copy of Monster Hunter World, and this month we're giving away a copy of the Kirby game on Switch.
Oh,
So-
Corey was just playing that.
Corey.
Yeah. All right, Scott's gonna stick with us here for the news of the week.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Don't worry.
Suffer through it.
So this week every week before the show we vote on topics, and number 5 was three-way tie. So
Woo.
I'm gonna try and kind of blow through number 5 here. So first thing, Switch turned 1 last Saturday. So
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Switch.
Happy birthday, Switch.
I think I'm the only one. That Scott probably has one, huh?
I do. Are you really the only one who has a Switch here?
Yeah, none of them do.
I bought a
That
Wii.
shocks me.
I bought a Wii U right before the Switch came out, not even paying attention, and so I'm like, wow, I have a Wii U.
I love my Switch. I played Celeste on the Switch, and it was
So did
great.
I.
Wow,
Oh, that
nice.
game was so good.
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
It's
still
probably my
play it
favorite
this
game of
point.
the year.
It's still shocking that a year in they don't have their online stuff buttoned up. Like, what year are we in?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you, but I just that doesn't bother me. I don't play enough
Yeah.
online games, so it's a personal thing. But what cracks me up about that whole complaint about the Switch is you got to use your phone to do the online stuff like that. I don't understand why people are complaining about that. We use Discord, guys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Discord is a
absolutely.
thing. It's fine doing it with Discord, but it's a problem doing it with Nintendo for some reason. I don't get that.
That's what, when I play with my buddy on Mario Kart, that's what we do. We just use Discord. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Switch. Oh,
Wait, you can have
also-
Discord on your Switch?
no, you used to plug into your phone, talk on your phone.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it's deleting people's game times after.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. It's resetting our game clock.
Also, Infinity War gets bumped up a week to April 27th. So trying not to compete with Solo.
Right.
Cool.
I don't
Sweet.
think it's going to compete with Solo. I think it was going to compete more with Deadpool 2, and I think they want to give that enough time between both movies to
Right,
get an
balance.
honest. Yeah. I mean, there's so much coming out.
Yeah.
I'm just
This
happy
year.
that I don't have to. My movie club, I get a free ticket every month, and there were those 3 movies coming out in May before. So now I got a little bit of space. So.
You don't have a
Good to
movie
go.
pass yet?
No, I do. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I get 1 free every month. So
No. Movie pass. I think we might be talking about a different thing. Movie Pass, you pay $10 a month, and you get all the movies you want for free.
Oh no, that's not. My local theater's got a club. It's a different deal. It got concessions and whatnot mixed into it.
Okay. So it doesn't work at every theater, but man, I pay $9.99 for my little card, and I can, as long as I do it every 24 hours, I can go as many times a month I want.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Scott, you're in the Hollywood Outsider. What are your thoughts on Marvel movies? Are you looking forward to Infinity War? Are you?
Oh, absolutely.
Thanos.
I knew Dirk was going to jump on.
Fucking love Thanos.
He does look. Are you sold on his look? Because I feel like he looks different than he looks in the.
Yes. No, I agree. I think it looks a little weird with the sort of undershirt look that he's got with the. Yeah.
I think he looks like the characters from Thumb Wars. Remember those movies?
That's funny.
Yeah. No, totally. I mean, I need the helmet and the full armor and all that. This is a little weird, but we'll see.
That's where he looks the coolest. But we see him raw and in the flesh. But I'm more excited just to see all those characters come together, because remember how cool it was when, I mean, you guys have been reading the comics since you were kids, you know, so Avengers were a normal thing. But for a person like me that only experiences through the movies, to see Iron Man and, you know, Captain America and all of these come together in Avengers, we're getting that all over again with Infinity War, in that Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in there. I love Guardians so much. It's going to be so cool.
Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and
that master plan.
It's almost because they did that in Captain America Civil War too. You had so many people coming on there.
Well, Spider-Man even.
Yeah. And Ant-Man, and now I wonder if they'll bring in Wasp. If they're bringing in Ant-Man in Infinity Wars, I wonder if Wasp.
I think she's in it.
Is she?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we all know Wakanda forever.
Hey, it's right over left, man. Right over left.
Is it right over left?
Right over left.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice. So, Dirk's favorite news of the week.
Absolutely.
Neil Gaiman announces Sandman Universe for DC.
Yeah. I kind of flipped a little bit when the news item dropped. I think, you know, it's hard if you haven't read the Sandman stuff, and especially now, to read it in hindsight, it might not be as monumental as it was when it first came out. But the comic book industry, when Sandman dropped, was not really prepared for something like that. And it really extended it as an art form with literary means where it wasn't really that before, you know? So jumping back into that world with Gaiman at the helm with the 4 writers that he chose is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. We're spoiled now with how many great independent comics that we get month in and month out. When Sandman came out, there was nothing like it.
Nothing like that.
Yeah,
nope. Absolutely not.
So just again, as a non-comic book guy, is this the guy from Spider-Man 3?
Nope, not at all. It's the
that's Marvel.
No, so this is it was what was the label that it came out on originally?
Yeah, Vertigo, which is an imprint under DC.
But, he's like the god who makes dreams.
Yeah.
Right? And
Morpheus.
Okay. That kind of Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, he's Morpheus, right? And then there's a whole group of gods that he hangs out with: love, envy,
it's destiny. It's all D. It's the destiny, destruction, death. It's the endless. They're actually above gods, you know, because they are just concepts that extend outside of, you know, beings, I guess. So the story is about Morpheus and Dream, but it jumps into so much mythology and just like it goes everywhere.
Yep.
It's just
the Matrix movies, apparently.
Nice.
Fantastic.
And number 4, Kevin Smith suffered a massive heart attack, 100% blockage of the Widowmaker. Almost died.
It's a good thing they caught it, and you know, what's funny is that I follow Kevin Smith on Twitter, and he's getting all this love and support now. And then Disney sent him a get well package, and it was just like cookie that was shaped of like Mickey Mouse ears, but then it said Kevin James on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you serious? Is that for real?
I'm serious. Yeah, even Mark Hamill, he replied on that too, saying that he gets a lot of Mark Hamill sometimes gets stuff for like Mark Harmon.
Oh.
Funny. Yeah, Kevin Smith clearly kind of the face of nerds for a long time now, and as much as that can kind of that shit can get a little bit old, he's also kind of stayed out of the messy life situations that a lot of people that had that kind of spotlight seem to put themselves into to some degree. So
Well, he doesn't. Let's be honest. He doesn't have the get up and go to get into trouble. He's just he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you listened to his
James
podcast?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Kevin Smith. He's just one of those dudes that Instagrams and tweets everything of his life. So, you know what I mean? It's like, man, and he's in the hospital. He's in a gown. He's got tubes coming out of him. And he's like, selfie.
He did Facebook Live too.
Yeah.
When I have a heart attack, I'll be off of the internet for
Right. Glad he's okay though.
For sure.
I hope I would love to get some more movies out of him. We actually were talking on the Hollywood Outsider about Tusk. And I don't know how you guys feel about that movie, but I actually kind of dug that movie. It got really weird, but there was a really good horror story, thriller buried in that.
Yeah.
And they just showed a little bit too much of the creature. If you haven't seen it, it's interesting.
I'll have to check it out. I like Kevin Smith movies.
I like the older ones the best.
I like Clerks. Clerks is probably my favorite.
Oh, it's a classic. Yeah.
I love Clerks because it was shot in black and white.
Yep.
I like Clerks because
Number 3. PS Plus games for March. Really awesome. Probably the best month ever. Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, both free. I have both of them, but for anybody who doesn't, those are some awesome free games.
I think I got space on my hard drive.
Even if you don't,
Bloodborne is a lesson in patience. I don't know if how many of you guys have played that, but
I haven't played it yet.
Holy
I didn't
cow!
beat it, but it's a great game. It's so hard.
Man, I rage quit. I couldn't. I made it past the second boss and I was done.
Well,
But
Corey rage quits
Same
on
with
sports
Dark
games,
Souls.
so it sort of balances each other.
I got halfway through. I have to, Jeff. I'll be real excited for you and Dirk to try it out. What I really like the most about it is it does not. We talk about games holding your hands, it does the opposite of holding your hands.
Yeah.
It tells you nothing. And the structure of it is so much different than everything that you're accustomed to. And it's just the way that it kind of teaches you gameplay is so excellent. Like everybody talks about.
What year did that come out?
Probably 3 years old.
2-3 years ago, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
It teaches you by punishing you.
It does. It does. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, I'm excited for you guys to check that one out. Mighty Number 9, everybody kind of disliked. That's out on Vita this month. And the other news, if you're a PS Plus subscriber, you got the email this week that the Vita and PS3 are officially dead. Yeah. Or will be a year from now anyway. So
well, just with PlayStation Network or PlayStation Plus, right? I mean, they're still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't bother me too much. I don't have a PS3 anymore. I never had a Vita. Not knocking the system at all. Are you?
Yeah.
Vita is pretty sweet. Actually, I borrowed Nate's Vita when I flew back from his place this weekend when I was in Denver, and it was a great time waster on an airplane. It really was.
Switch for.
They killed Hot Shots too.
And then he has Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, and I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan.
Nice.
And thank you, Nate.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I actually look at this as a bit of a positive. I know you guys are, one of you at least said you still have the Vita. Nate, you said you still have the Vita.
Yep.
And some people are still playing the PS3, but I try to look at this in a positive light. If they cannot give those free games anymore, imagine what they can do and give us better PS4 games.
Yeah, hopefully. I agree.
I mean, look what they're giving us. Look what they're giving us right now. Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank, 2 really great games from that platform. And if they take away the assets to give away these games that hardly anybody's picking up, it can only get better, hopefully. So,
right. For sure. Number
For
2.
sure.
So, CD Projekt Red recently did an interview with somebody, and it's calling Cyberpunk more ambitious than The Witcher 3. What did they? They said Cyberpunk is our new Witcher 3, but even more ambitious. Our goal is to establish a new blockbuster franchise from the beginning. We work in a new futuristic universe. We believe it's very appealing to players, not only RPG players, but this is a true RPG like Witcher 3 for mature audiences. It's handcrafted, detailed, of course, open world and open-ended gameplay. So,
Of course.
can't wait.
Yep, give us our weekly excuse to gush about The Witcher, and we will. When
Yeah.
this news article came up, but yeah, more ambitious. It might be a scary thing. Like, I don't know that I need more ambitious.
Did any of you finish it? Can anybody say they finished Witcher 3?
Yes. Well,
You
I
did.
think all
Yeah.
this except for Jeff.
I haven't finished yet.
Okay.
I'm going to
I'll
college,
understand.
so my game time is very small.
Yeah, I'm going for my master's degree right now, so I'm with you. I
Yeah.
could not finish Witcher 3. I got past the Red Baron, and I know I didn't even get to Skellige, so I
Yeah.
barely scratched the surface on that
Oh.
game.
Skellige's
But-
the best.
But with that said, all I need to hear for this Cyberpunk 2017 is CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
These
right.
guys,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to buy whatever they're selling at this point.
Absolutely.
Not only do they make these beautiful, fantastic, living, breathing worlds, but they do DLC right, man. Everything
Yeah.
that they give is completely free. And I want to support more developers that do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
That's what we were
So-
saying a few weeks back, that it's like I don't normally buy like the super editions of games, collector's editions, whatever
Right.
they put out. I definitely will for this one, because just so appreciative of how they respected fans with The Witcher 3 in particular.
Right.
You know, just such a cool thing.
Well,
so.
especially like this setting to me is a little bit more interesting. I mean, as much as I love Witcher 3, I feel like I'm getting a little bit tapped out on the medieval. I mean, I know this is its own world kind of thing, but this that fantasy medieval world is just getting a little. I'm getting a little burnt out on it. I mean, I love Skyrim. You know what I mean? I love all these kinds of games, but something in this Cyberpunk 2077. I've always loved futuristic stuff. I
Yeah.
always loved Fallout better than Skyrim. And, you know, so this is more up my alley. So you tell me that it's a game made by the developer of Witcher, set in a setting that's more interesting to me.
Yeah.
I need this game.
Excellent.
Yeah. I would say the same thing about Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yep.
Number 1. More
More Witcher.
More Witcher.
We got a kind of update on the Netflix show. Basically, the showrunner is talking about the characters that are going to be in it. Sounds like everybody's in.
The whole crew.
Yeah,
Crew's
and I didn't
there.
realize
Triss.
that
Corey's
Roach
happy about
was a
Triss.
girl. I always thought of Roach as a boy. And
Well,
It's a girl?
Roach
Roach
is
is-
actually, so if you get into the books, Roach, he calls every horse Roach.
Roach,
And
yeah.
Yeah.
they'll
Right.
die and gets different ones throughout time.
Well,
Okay.
he says that in the game. He
says that in the
that.
game.
He
Does
says
he?
that in the game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
Who did they cast for Geralt? Or
They didn't say any
Geralt.
castings yet. Huh?
Oh.
They just said it was Aunt Triss, Jan, Siri,
Oh.
Yeah.
the vampire
Corey's
guy.
sold then. I know Corey's.
What's funny is if you Google, so when I was looking for the image to put before the news of the week, if you Google Witcher Netflix, it's got like 20 famous actors with their faces like photoshopped into them. It's pretty
Jamie
funny when you-
Lannister.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
scroll through the images. Yeah. Yep. So
Nice.
yeah, we're ready.
Here's
Wow.
the thing about the Witcher TV shows that gives me hope for a video game movie being made. And you kind of already addressed it, Nate, in that a lot of the reason that so many video game movies haven't translated well is because they get directors that haven't played the game. You know what I mean? And I think I got high hopes for the Metal Gear movie, but that's a whole other topic. But I think that the reason that this is going to be more successful is because it's a video game based on a book. So that
Right.
you've got a lot more source material going to than just the game.
Yeah.
So this really could be the bastion for a video game movie that's going to work. It's just, and Netflix, man, Netflix is buying up everything right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
look-
300 series, I think, coming out.
It's just insane how many things that they're doing and they got their hands into. I mean, would you ever have imagined when Netflix first came out that we'd be watching this many Netflix original
Right?
shows?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I used to get the CDs in the mail, and now I don't even do that. It's just all streaming. 'Cause there's
I
so
get-
much to do there.
I get it through my cable box. I just stream it through my cable box.
It's
So,
crazy.
even smart TVs even just have it built in nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just insane. So
It is awesome.
fingers crossed, because that, we've all been waiting for that video game property to screen adaptation that's going to work. And I was so excited for Assassin's Creed, and that just
I know.
I didn't hate the movie, but still, we got
I
Tomb
didn't
Raider
either.
coming next week.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it looks really good. And they've been teasing some of those iconic kind of scenes from the Tomb Raider game.
Mm-hmm.
So I have high hopes for it. I also have high hopes for Ready Player One, even though Nate doesn't really have high hopes for it.
I am so nervous. I'm so
Hold on.
nervous
Yeah.
for Ready Player One.
I'm kind of
Alright.
with you, Nate. The last trailer I saw, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw some commercial where it was all Halo Spartans.
I you know what?
They've
But
totally
I-
thrown the 80s in the garbage.
I've
And they're
come
going
back to
contemporary,
this.
and it pisses me off.
They have to though. They have
don't
to do
have
it
to.
balanced.
They don't have to.
They do. You have to look at the audience now, because you have to be able to captivate your audience so they can relate to certain aspects of that film, and then you've still got to hold some core value for the 80s from the book. Folks that, us that grew up in the 80s and ones that have read the book that are more nostalgic on it.
But
So
the
I
book's
know,
not
man.
that old. The book's not that
It's
old.
not. The book is not that old, but
The content
in order to
is.
make it, in order to make it a movie now in 2018, you have to cater to both audiences to have a general draw.
Well, can I make a counterpoint to that just slightly?
Yes.
My, as you guys know, I teach fourth grade, and I've
Yep.
got a fourth grade girl in my class that loves to read, and she's like one of my favorite students. Her name is Emmy, and I bought her a copy of Ready Player One for her birthday, just because I talked to her mom about it, because I said, there's some stuff in here, but she's a really mature reader. She read it in a week.
Nice.
Read it in a week. She's
Right.
actually she reads it like a 9th or 10th grade reading level, and she loved it. She cannot wait to go see the movie. I'm actually going to go with her family to go see the movie with her. So my counterpoint to your point with that is, I got a fourth grader that knows nothing about the 80s, and she still loved the book.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the
Okay.
point. Right.
So now, granted, she's a very mature fourth grader. So throwing in some Spartans and stuff like that is going to really appeal to the younger audience a little bit for a draw. But I really hope they stick to the 80s stuff. But I don't know, man. Put the DeLorean in there. The DeLorean wasn't in the book.
Right.
As much as I love seeing the DeLorean, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like they're going to stray away from the story of the book. Like, what was cool for me was the puzzles and the memorizing war games and the Def Leppard trivia and stuff like that. That just was super cool.
Well,
All right,
and I think it was a licensing issue, because
Probably.
everything that's referenced in the book, trying to get licensing for the
I
Millennium
disagree,
Falcon.
I disagree, Jeff. I think, first of all, stop spoiling shit. Second of all, I think the 80s licenses would be cheaper than, you can go get Joust a lot cheaper than you could get Halo.
You could, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever. We'll see. We're almost there. All right. Well, thanks
That's it.
again, Scott, for joining
Thanks,
us.
Scott.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
It was
Scott.
a lot of fun.
Yep, really
You
You
appreciate
guys have a wonderful evening, all right?
All right,
You
you too.
He's like, what?
What is going on? This week, for Community Question of the Week, we asked, what are your thoughts on the announced Marvel reboot? And again, I tried the poll in Twitter, and I didn't misspell anything. So I asked for thoughts on Marvel doing a reboot again, and I had three options: cool, lame as hell, and shut up and take my money. And it looked like cool got 80% of the vote, and lame as hell got 20% of the vote, with only 5 votes. No one said shut up and take my money, so at least people aren't just jumping on, like, if you put Star Wars on a package of, spinach, and everyone would just buy it because it's Star Wars. But on the Facebook group, we had a little bit more traction. Bill said the annual reboot, 1 year it's DC, the next it's Marvel, then DC, then Marvel. And
Seems like they've even accelerated that.
yeah. And then Francisco He said, I'm looking forward to it. Coates taking on Cap with you penciling and seeing Ed McGuinness draw Avengers. Although he's not familiar with the writer, is a pretty good start. Might even pick up on Thor. And then Dirk had to
Dirk, what do you think
like
about
$1? Yeah.
Yeah, so
about the writers that Francisco's talking about?
yes, no, I mean the fact that Ta-Nehisi Coates, who did Black Panther, is going to be doing Captain America. That is just a holy shit sort of moment right there. The big one that I'm looking forward to. So I was apprehensive about Marvel rebooting because I can't stand this every year like reboot or every 2 years. But the writers that they have lined up for everything is just, they knocked it out of the park. And I haven't seen that in a long time in Marvel for that many people. Donny Cates, who does that excellent Thanos book, is doing a Venom series, and he's doing the Cosmic Ghost Rider series. Ta-Nehisi Coates is doing Captain America. But the big one for me is Al Ewing, who I think he did the Guardians of the Galaxy book. He's doing a horror-themed Hulk series
Nice.
called Immortal Hulk. And apparently, they do like a pitch session with all the writers. So they were all huddled together, like sort of exchanging their ideas. And all the writers that walked out of that pitch session said, like, the Hulk book is going to be the one that just kills it. Like, they couldn't. The ideas that he was feeding them, they could not believe what they were hearing. So
Nice.
I'm so excited. Hulk's like my dude.
Sure.
So a horror take on that is going to be unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, if they line up those kind of writers all across the board, shit. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Whose phone's vibrating?
Even
else
the
was
phone
there?
agrees.
Was
That was my chair.
anything else there, Jeff?
No, that was it. There was some traction, but not a lot. I think it seemed like everybody was busy this week for some reason. There wasn't a whole lot of chatter going on. That brings us to this week's question: is what is your favorite non-Marvel comic book superhero movie?
Nailed it.
Yeah.
All right. We're to the part of the show where we like to give love back. We're still week in, week out, getting tons of subscribers. We love it. We appreciate the hell out of every one of you for
Yes.
just hitting that subscribe button. It really helps us out. We
Yeah.
spend the week going back checking your stuff out. And if you do a YouTube channel, this is the spot where we're going to, real quick, shout you out. We're going to put the link in the description of the video. So anybody who's watching this, just come back, click on the description, go down to the list there, click these people, subscribe to them. They supported us. We support back. That's how we do it. And if you're one of these people that also has a YouTube channel, here's a great resource for you to grab a bunch of people that are active right now across YouTube, across Twitter, all that stuff. Let's build this thing together. So the ones that I had this week are Masterful 27, Akuma Assassin, Pro Gamer 21, and then I Snip Hair 123 / Dope Killer 1620 Walker.
Ooh, that's a
That's
mouthful.
all one. Yep.
That's a mouthful.
Pixel Blind, You Gotta Be Bored Gaming, and Langton Productions.
Yeah, I got Merry Men, Bro Gaming, Gamers Anonymous, Mercury United, Samurai 93, Dolly Bear Productions, Smokescreen Gamer, Dave Folgate,
It's
and
Def
Kill.
Old Git.
Def old git.
Def Folgate, and Kill.
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 I have Make and Play TV, Swamp Beast, Unique Freaking Caldwell,
Yeah. With exclamation
Reckless 563 Gaming, Grim and Ghoulish, The Chamley Fannel, and SC Trencher.
Wow. Well, and then after you get done with your trencher, you have Stay at Home Gaming, Rebecca E. Emmerich, I checked her out. If you are in for like getting writing tips on how to write, you should look at her channel. I checked it out a little bit.
I will do that.
Yeah, the Dream GSG, Jimmy Fungus, Retro Gamers Club, iNub88, Tollfast, Ren's Amazing Toys, the Cyberbard, Game Consolers, IWP112 Gaming, and a special shout out to a friend of mine, Gene Yuba, who also subscribed.
Oh,
Nice. What up, Gene? Okay, so every week we give out a coveted award from these list of new subscribers. This is the name of the week. It's based only on the name. It has nothing to do with the content.
God.
I'm going to go this week with You Gotta Be Bored Gaming.
I'm gonna go with Merry Man Bro Gaming.
Oh, that's a
yeah.
good one.
I was going to say Merryman Bro Gaming. I like that one.
I was going with Swamp Beast.
All right, so
That was my second. Swamp Beast was my second.
So the name of the week is Merry Men Bro Gaming. Congratulations, you're on the list.
You won.
You're
You
gonna
did
go
it.
down in infamy, in history, and all the other things that you
For the
could
retire.
possibly go down in. All right, so thanks everybody for watching. The spoiler topic of this week is going to be The Walking Dead. We're going to talk up to current in TV and comics, so you really have to be current in both to take part in this conversation. So if you have not read that stuff, if you're not current on the show, then check out, come back after you're caught up. And you can find out everything that we do over on our Patreon page, patreon.com/GCandC.
Yeah, find us on Twitter at GCandC.
And as always, thank you to Fred Thomas for opening music. And Xee Reiter for our awesome logo. And Dirk for our awesome new avatars we have in Discord.
Yeah.
And up on the YouTube channel, we have a new banner that was made by Dirk
And
himself.
Twitter.
And
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Thank
Twitter.
you. Thanks, everybody.
Twitter.
All right, so about to go full spoilers on The Walking Dead. Everybody else, this has been Comically Gaming, episode 94. Scott, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
And next week, CBBC is going to be Oblivion Song #1 that gets released the day that this video comes out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Check
yeah,
it
pick
out.
up. Robert Kirkman's new book.
I can't wait.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
Welcome. We're ready. Full spoilers discussion. Walking Dead. What is this? Season 8, episode 8?
8 or 9, yeah, something like that.
The mid-season startup. Again, the way that me and Corey record these shows, we're actually recording this on Sunday, so there'll be a new one out by the time anybody can watch this video.
Right.
But yeah, this is a full spoilers conversation through that episode, also including comics up to current, which is what, like 174 or something like that?
Something
Right
like
around
that.
there, right? So yeah, if you haven't checked that stuff out and you're worried about spoilers, now's the time to check out.
Yeah.
Right? All right, so that being said, warnings are done.
Yeah.
Carl's done.
Yeah. Carl's done. I knew he was. You didn't think he was actually dead after the last one.
So it's not that I didn't think he was. It's that over that break, I was like, he better fucking be. Yeah, right? Like the fake. Who was it?
Glenn?
Yeah, the fake Glenn death was the worst thing ever for The Walking
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah,
And
stupid.
yeah, so I was just hoping there wasn't some like way to live this thing out if you got
Right.
hit in the gut.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so you know, definitely Carl's one of these main characters that'll be missed. There's only a few left of the OG ones at
Right.
this point.
Yep.
And
Someone you never was before that last episode. I mean, nobody saw that coming. Anybody who watches the show, like who knows I read the comics, and they're like, "Oh, I hope Rick dies or hope Carl dies." I'm like, no, they're never gonna die.
Right.
Like, those two are the two that will never die. Like everyone else is fair game except them. But then that's not the case.
Yeah.
Carl's dead.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
wild.
definitely. Yeah, it's crazy how they'll be able to, you know, clearly Judas is not in the books, where she is for like a
Right.
day or two, and then but in the show they'll be able to replace the Carl parts with Judith, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You would
Yeah.
assume that's what they're gonna do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and also, it was funny how we talked months ago about how the showrunner came out and said that they wanted to be more in line with the books.
Yeah.
And then they go and kill Carl.
They kill Carl. Yeah. It's crazy shit.
Yeah. So I gotta say, the show itself, in general, I wasn't a super big fan of. I thought it was a little cheesy, all around. It doesn't mean I didn't tear up in a spot here or there when everybody was saying goodbye.
Yeah.
But
Carl.
yeah, right. But yeah, it's the Walking Dead's getting a little old at this point.
Yeah.
And interesting. But so the other big kind of thing from this show is I don't know what you call it, the fast forward / Carl's dream sequence.
Right.
So pretty crazy, right? Like when this season opened up and they showed Rick looking like he looks now
Looking stupid.
in the books, right? In the cane and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And anybody who reads the books kind of sees what that is. And I was like, wow, I thought there was like another season or two before they were going to go there.
Right.
And then for them to get as crazy as they did this time with it was pretty wild. I mean, what do you think of Negan?
Yeah, I mean, and the way they showed Negan was even further than he is in the books now.
Right.
Like, he's never just been, hey, Judith, like picking flowers. I mean, yeah, is that the future, or is that just what's up with that? I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah. So the way that they showed it in the show made you think that this is 100% just Carl's vision. They're gonna not make They're gonna not make Rick lose his mind,
Right.
like you would think maybe a Carl death would, because the whole death thing was so motivational all the way through. The whole deal with Sadiq and all that, of like, Dad, you can make this good again. It doesn't have to, don't lose focus in what you're doing all these terrible things for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that could be the end of it, but then of course, we all kind of know.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Right. Yeah. Pretty crazy. So.
What do you think the end of this season will be the Negan Rick fight then?
Probably, yeah. You assume so. He breaks his leg.
Right. And then they go and make the dream a reality.
Yeah.
For a minute or whatever. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, probably the end of the season. So, hopefully.
Was Michonne in the dream sequence at all? I was trying to think, and I don't think that she was.
I feel like she wasn't either when you say that.
Right?
I don't remember her being in it. So,
yeah.
I guess I'd have to rewatch it, but I don't remember her being in that.
Right, because I was thinking about it earlier today, and I don't remember either, and I wonder if that's also telling.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. So, yeah, I think, like I say, the actual show itself, pretty cheesy, not the greatest television of my life.
No.
But,
yeah, it's basically just watching it because it's The Walking Dead at this point, not because it's good.
Right. But I'm going to continue to do that, so.
Yeah.
We'll do it. When crazy shit happens, you can look to us to break it down with this earth-shattering commentary that we provide week in, week out on this sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right, Corey.
All right.
It's been a great week. What is this, episode 94?
94.
Yep. Thanks for being here. 94 episodes for me.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Have a great week.
Yep. Later, everybody. Later.